Greetings and welcome to episode 2 of The Clinic with Candace Richardson, the healthcare podcast where we talk about all types of healthcare issues. Even those topics that are important, people are curious about, but they're scared to speak on. So that's what this podcast is about. So today in episode 2, we're going to dive right on in. Let's see here. I have with me today my guest, Sean Walker, mother. Sean Walker, epidemiologist. Sean Walker, master of public health. And the list goes on. I'm going to give her an opportunity, y'all, to expand on her credentials. Sean, thank you so much for being here with me today.
No, thank you for having me.
You are
just
so
super excited to
welcome.
be here.
Yes.
Nervous, but I'm super excited.
That's good. That is so good. So before we jump into all these different type of topics, Sean, I'd like for you to I'd like to give you the opportunity to inform our listeners. You may want to expand more on your credentials, and let's just give us an idea of what exactly your work involves.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I think I can't give you my credentials without giving you my backstory.
Okay, girl.
So I was one of those kids when you went to high school, you were either going to be a doctor, a nurse,
Absolutely.
a psychologist, I always wanted to be a psychiatrist, right?
Okay.
But then reality, like, okay, as a young Black girl, how do you become a
Exactly.
psychiatrist? You don't have really a lot of examples
Absolutely.
in your neighborhood that you see Black psychologists,
That's right.
So then I was like, okay, my grandma she wanted to be a nurse.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that didn't pan out for her. She was a mother, homemaker. She pushed out her grandchildren. She wanted all us to be nurses. So that was like what we were all going to school to be. Everybody was going to still be nurses.
Okay.
It almost reminds me of like that Dish Digger's daughter when he wanted all his daughters to be doctors. Everybody wants to be a school nurse. I went straight into the healthcare field right after high school. And learned I didn't have a passion for nursing.
Okay.
I like to help others.
Mm-hmm.
I love to listen to others. But I think being a nurse is a calling.
I understand. Now, just by me meeting you today for the first time, I can already tell that you are a natural nurturer.
Yes.
I can see
Yes,
that. I can
yes.
see that. So I can see why grandmother maybe have wanted you to be in that field. She probably saw it in you.
Yes.
But just because you're a nurturer doesn't mean that you have to be a nurse.
No, and I feel like nursing is one of those markets. We need nurses. Don't get me wrong.
That's right.
We need them.
Yeah.
That's a calling.
Mhm.
That is something that God places you in a room because you're responsible for somebody's life,
That's right.
somebody's well-being. I didn't feel like that was my calling.
Hmm.
So I became a mother
Okay.
at 19. So I went through that whole going to school, we're doing good, we're gonna drop it out. Like, is
Right.
life getting too hard?
Exactly.
And being a young mom, I didn't want my kids to be statistics.
Mhm.
So I tried really, really hard to be a present mom, right?
Absolutely.
And then my boys became teenagers, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm fussing them how you need to go to college, you want to do this. And then one day, my oldest, who is my daredevil, like, okay?
We
So
all
he was
have
like,
one.
we got one that's going
We
to test
all
us, right?
have one.
And so he was like, you telling me to go to college and you haven't even finished yet. And girl, I know
It
you
hit home, didn't it?
Like, I know you lying. Okay,
Yeah.
let me show you a magic trick.
There you go.
I'm gonna go to before you graduate. I'm gonna be ungraduated, right?
There you go.
So that was like the battery in my back, and I had like an uncle
Uh-huh.
who's a retired minister now, and I used to always make excuses, like because my
Right.
family used to be like, "You're smart," da da da. And I used to be like, oh, okay, well, when the boys get this, and then when the girls,
Keep
do this,
putting it
I
off.
had it all. And my uncle always said, life is going to do whatever it wants to do.
Absolutely.
Right? But you'll feel better if you had a piece of paper when you
That's
finish going through
right.
that trial.
That's right.
And I was like, okay, right.
Uh-huh.
So started off, went back to school, and I got my associates in behavioral science,
Okay.
passion for psychology, right?
Right.
And so then I went on to go get my bachelor's of psychology, and I have a friend, she's a licensed therapist now.
Mhm.
We had this, we're going to be therapists together. We're going to run a
Okay.
clinic. You always have a friend you dream big
of
with.
course.
She's always in my think big person.
Uh-huh.
So finished on my bachelor's, getting ready, have applied for master's to go to get my counseling degree. Took a extracurricular class that was public health in America.
Mhm.
Changed
And it
my
just changed your
whole-
life.
It changed my life. It changed the whole trajectory of what I wanted to do. It was that perfect mixture of counseling
That's right.
and
And
nursing
uh-huh.
that filled my cup, right?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, call my advisor. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm interested in this. And she's like, girl, you almost finished. You're finna graduate.
Right.
And I had pushed myself to get my bachelor's in a year. And so she's like, if you do this, you have to add on, I wanted some minor in public health. So Blair, you're my girl. Blair
Shout
has
out
went
to
through, Blair has
Blair.
went through the ringer with me. So she's like, okay, you can take this extra credit. You can minor in public health. Cool. And then I took that, I think it was that summer.
Uh-huh.
Went researched on Facebook. There's a group called Sisters in Public Health.
Okay.
It's a predominantly African American ran. They do have other, but that's what it started off as, Sisters in Public Health.
Right.
It was
Right.
a group. I kind of did my research, looked at other people, like what the job market looks like. But there was a lady. Her name is Erica Gaines. She runs a nonprofit organization that does internships. It's called Public Health for Kids.
Okay.
I did an internship with Miss Erica and was like, this is where I'm supposed to. This is where
Okay.
I'm supposed to be.
Mhm.
This is where my heart desires. It wasn't, the internship didn't feel like work.
Absolutely.
It was enjoyable.
There you go.
And it kind of helped me build on where I wanted to go. Unbeknownst to me, public health was already in the making for me.
Right.
If I go back to my notes, I had all these ideas.
Right.
I just didn't know where they fit, like where
Uh-huh.
they fit in psychology.
Mhm.
So, with wanting to be an epidemiologist, I needed to get a health science degree. But I still wanted to be the public health. UT Tyler, which is where I graduated from, they have this wonderful mixture where you can do the health science with the more
Right.
research-oriented degree and still have your fundamental basics of public health and epidemiology.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
what I chose to do. And I've kind of stepped out on faith and
There
started
you
Burning
go.
Butterfly.
Yes.
It had a very deep meaning to me, and it all made sense once I went back and looked at, like, I have like probably iPhone notes from like 2012.
Right.
It was like,
Right.
like
Right.
just, well, that sounds like a
Right.
good idea. Let me write it down.
Okay.
And when if I go back, I'm like, it was all the foundation for this,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And so when most
It's a
people talk,
cycle.
yes,
Yes, it
so-
is. It is. It is.
yes,
So I know that there are different types of epidemiologists,
right.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
I know there are some who focus on infectious diseases, environmental, and so on. So where is your specialty?
I would liken me more to a community strategist
Okay.
and finding out the root causes within our community.
Absolutely.
I think here in Texarkana, unfortunately, I was a victim of gun violence earlier in this year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
There is, yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
There's a big that people probably have never heard of. It's called an injury prevention epidemiologist, and basically they study inner city workings and find the root cause of what this is. So whether it's gang violence, whether it's burglary, they can come back and investigate and review all case files, review
That's right.
like if there's a liking of uptake in drug use in this community, what is making the violence. So that is something I think there's Texarkana in general just needs.
Exactly.
And then
I agree. Because, we talk about urban.
mhm, mhm,
And when I focus on urban, I automatically, in my mind, see densely populated cities,
mhm,
built environments,
mhm.
fast paced, abundant jobs, and all these big complex infrastructures.
Right.
So this type of environment easily produces stress,
Absolutely.
depression, honey.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about,
Absolutely.
and in some cases, trauma.
Oh, for sure.
So I guess my question would be to you is, why would you say that these stats hit our African American community so much harder than it does any other community?
We're unrealistic.
Hmm.
We're unrealistic. If me and my friend just talked about this the other day,
Uh-huh.
watching soul food.
Okay.
Do you ever
One
go
of
back
my
and watch
favorites.
yes? Do you ever go back and watch movies as an adult?
That's right. And
And
you
your
see
outlook
things,
is
it's
like,
completely different. Mm-hmm.
We don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
Big Mama had sugar. We all knew Big Mama had sugar.
Yes.
We knew it was a likelihood Big Mama wasn't taking her insulin.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
But as when we're younger, we're looking at them like, oh my God, that's so unfortunate.
That's right.
But Big Mama's ailments were completely preventable. Not saying she probably wouldn't, genetics play a key, and she probably wouldn't have had diabetes. And I would
That's
say it was
right.
type 2
That's
because of the
right.
situation she was having. But I've been in medical for a long time. you have to be a real diabetic to burn yourself and not feel that.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay. And
Absolutely.
so that happens. And then when she
Yes.
finally did address it, there were bigger issues.
That's right.
So Big Mama ended up passing,
That's
right?
right.
Then,
That's right.
But Big Mama was the source of the family. Big Mama, everyone say she enabled her family to be dysfunctional, but she was the key of making it functional.
Absolutely.
Right? So like Terry, how we always thought Terry was the villain. Terry
That's
was
right.
the auntie that went did well for herself and
She
wanted
did.
to make sure her family stayed stable.
Yes.
I think like the stat not too long ago was like, now I see why the bougie auntie didn't come around.
That's
because
right.
as we get older, you realize we have to be realistic.
We have to be realistic. Reality is everything to me.
We have to be realistic.
You know, when you first walked in here and I met you and I told you, I said, girl, I am the same wherever I am, honey. So we're just going to talk and we're going to keep it real.
Yes.
Reality is everything. So, and I'm glad you mentioned diabetes because that is one of the most dominant diseases there is. And it also affects our community, the African American community. Do you think that it's our diet?
Absolutely. I love chicken express.
Yeah, girl.
It's $1.
Yes.
I'm gonna get, you get
and that's another thing.
And it's easier.
Fast food is so inexpensive and it's easy.
It's easier for me to go get this dollar sweet tea that I know I'm gonna sit in my car than it is for me to probably get out the car, go get a bottle of water, and it's not. It's convenient to be not healthy.
And that is sad.
And it's convenient to be healthy. But I went and bought some rosemary, some Baileys, and to make some. And long story short, 10, 15 items.
That's
$200.
Right. Exactly.
$200.
Exactly.
So, I hate to say it, if it becomes between paying your light bill, which price of things are increasing, and making sure my kids eat, I'm going to get this pack of chicken, probably fried, or if Churches has a $10.99 for 12 pieces, guess what? I'm going to do that.
That's right.
We don't make it convenient.
We
don't make it convenient. And the resistance to try new things, right? So we shun away. I have a Facebook friend named Ginger. Well, he's my sister friend, but grew up with love him to death. And he was like, I come to the home and I'm shunned because I eat healthy. And I'm like, no, he probably is. Because he was like, I'm gluten-free, I'm this. And I'm like,
yeah.
And you always have that auntie like, girl, eat the food.
Baby, eat that food. You grew up on that.
But he's trying, we don't encourage healthy habits. Or if you get to a certain place where you're like, I'm doing this, I do this diet, I don't eat red meat anymore. That is like, oh, you're in our culture, unfortunately.
You're turning your back on your culture.
You're doing too much.
You're doing too much.
You don't move to the city. And it's
like, baby,
no.
you cityfied. Girl, you ought to hear what they say about me, honey.
And I'm kind of like healthier habits. Like, I even told my friend the other day I wanted a turkey trot.
Yeah.
I've never been a part of a turkey trot. But a turkey trot needs to start happening in my family. I want my kids to be mad at me. And it was a little black girl, and she was like, I did not come from a turkey trot family, but a turkey trot come from me. And I'm like, I like that. But those are things that people be like, cliche. Like,
exactly.
If you're doing healthy habits or you're doing things like that with your family, they're not as well received.
They're not.
We're at a cookout. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to include healthy habits.
Absolutely.
We have to.
Just like there's nothing wrong with eating what we're normally used to eating, there's nothing wrong with change. We have to change with time. You know what I mean? And that's not only with the way we eat, our diet, but that's with medicine.
Absolutely.
Technology, all of it changes.
Absolutely.
We cannot stay the same. We have to change. I think there's something good in change. And and I need our community to do that too.
I love it.
There's something good in change,
and it's hard.
honey.
And I want people to take a more liking. I've spoke recently at an event. I'm more liking to the people around you health too.
Ooh.
Okay,
girl, you just said a word.
If I can go to the club with you, I can go play spades with you. We can go to the Bahamas. We can go there. I can ask you like, sis, have you got your A1C check? I should be able to ask you that.
That's right.
That's right. I noticed you're tired lately. Your vitamin D okay?
Absolutely.
Because people, I have a close knit of friends.
That's right.
If I notice something like, you've been really sleeping a lot, I should be able as your friend to tell you like, I think you may be anemic.
That's
Or
right.
you eating ice all the time, that's not right. look out for the people around you. Like, if Uncle Joe never goes to the hospital or
That's
never
right.
goes to the doctor's appointment, it's time to be like, let's take Uncle Joe to the doctor.
That's right. And I'm glad you said that as well, because as our parents, our grandparents get older, they need
Raising them is the blues. Raising them is the blues.
honey, because let me tell you, all they gonna do is go in the doctor's office and the
Yes.
doctor gonna say, how you doing? I'm all
And
right.
and lie. And we have to
Girl.
take out those times to go to the
Yes,
doctor with
we
your
do.
parents
It's very
and get an
important.
understanding of what they're
That's
saying.
right.
Because
That's
what
right.
they heard may not be what you hear.
That's right.
Right?
Absolutely.
And it's very easy for them to say I was fine. And you're like, okay,
Mhm.
they went up, they was fine, and then they get in the hospital and then the doctor's like, I told them they need to stop doing this,
That's right.
this. And you're like, oh my
Uh-huh.
God, how did I
Uh-huh.
miss that?
Yes.
And even I can even say personally, my grandmother passed a year ago of pancreatic cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I didn't see it.
Mm.
I didn't see the weight. I put it like this. I knew she had lost weight, right? But her weight would go up and down. It wasn't nothing.
Fluctuate.
It wasn't. She had she had rheumatoid arthritis. She was always achy,
Mhm.
right? She was diabetic. She had high blood pressure. So when she would complain about certain things, we're like, Grandma got arthritis. And so the last picture I looked at her last video, I was like, how did I not see that?
That's right.
Right? But she went to the doctor all the time. But we took, oh, that's her blood pressure.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
That's the answer. We
Mhm.
took that, and well educated. I have
Right.
I didn't become a nurse, but
Right.
my sisters are nurses. Like
Yes.
all of us are.
Yes.
Nobody saw it. And
Yeah.
it had masked itself behind all her other ailments.
Mhm.
By the time we realized something's not right, and we really found out on the float, she fell and touched the county emergency room. I always give them credit. A bunch of wonderful doctors, and they always go above and beyond. Called it from a fall
Wow.
that she had pancreatic cancer. We probably would have known.
That's
But
Yeah.
we can be so close to situations, and like we don't ask follow-up questions.
That's right.
Well, if this is getting worse, why?
Exactly.
Why?
I have a real close friend. Shout out to Mitra Sue. Yes, I'm talking about you, honey. Girl. So she calls me, girl, talking about, different things that she's concerned with her mother about.
Mhm.
And she's like, well, what should I do? Mitra, what?
Yeah.
Your mother, she's at the age now to where you have to take over.
That's your child now.
That's your child now.
That's your child.
The cycle changes, honey.
Mhm.
You've got to get it together, child.
And raising parents is hard. Let me tell you something.
Girl, don't make me throw this phone down.
Raising parents is so
Raising
hard.
parents is so hard. Girl, they
I
hard-headed.
find myself like when my parents be like, you do know what my degree is.
Right.
Like, and my sisters are wonderful nurses, but I'm
Yes.
like, my degree is you sent me to school to think a little bit harder.
That's
Think
right.
why. Like why a nurse comes in and give you your medication. Like you sent me to school to figure out why is this happening?
That's right.
What's the cause behind it? And I
That's
know I got
right.
my dad's nurse. And I'm always like, well, what did they say? Why did they say that?
Exactly.
Get your pen out. This is the questions you need to ask next time. Put me on. He won't do. Put me on speaker because he always call like, I'm at the doctor. I'm getting walk in. Oh, I know you lying. So you know I can take off. Like so
Yes.
it's always to think a little bit. Parents, especially with men,
Yes.
there's a level of dignity.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, with our parents, prostate cancer, prostate problems are an issue. Most men not finna talk to their doctor about their prostate not
They're not
working.
gonna do that.
They're not good at this mess and that. So there's a certain level of okay, I'm have to insert myself.
That's right.
To see what's going on with my dad, what's going on with that.
And with men, like you mentioned, it's that pride deal. You have to be careful, girl. It's a certain way you have to do it. You have to approach it and make them think that they're actually making the answer.
Yes.
But girl, in the end, we're the one taking care of everything.
And I was blessed. I have two dads. I have my biological father, who's my best friend, and I have he's not my stepfather, he's my father.
There you go.
Who is a man's man, right? Both my dads are man's man. If I said, hey, build this, they could build it, right? My stepdad is a very Mr. Rogers.
Oh,
right.
Girl.
Hardworking man. He
Okay.
gonna get off work, So he's not gonna tell me my biological, he's gonna overshare.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, I could have did 20 lives without doing that. But at the same time, both of them do the same thing. They don't tell you all you need to know. So it's hard
Ooh.
making sure they're on top of their health.
That's right.
My biological father has went on this little tangent, which is just like, I'm finna strangle you. Find these supplements on TikTok. That's something that's a big thing,
Yeah.
is debunking misinformation.
Girl,
Misinformation.
listen, honey. Girl, look, you almost gave me chills
Yes.
because I'm in the middle of a thesis right now writing
Oh, dope. Okay.
on misinformation and the impact that it has,
Oh,
on social discourse,
it is
basically.
killing us.
Oh, it
like,
is.
It is killing us.
It
and I want you to
is.
understand, it's killing us.
Us.
And we're not listening.
Mm-hmm.
And everything you see shared on social media, that is, and it's also in public health where they have declared, hey, there's a misinformation epidemic.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So, and I want to say, while it was there pre-COVID, COVID like threw gas and a
It
match
did.
on all misinformation.
Yes, it did.
And we're suffering. And I want people to understand that we don't know the long-term effects of COVID. We're just now seeing it.
That's right.
If your body doesn't feel okay, please go get a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this because I had a cousin 1 year older than me.
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago. I was having headaches.
Mm-hmm.
Had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Was going to his regular doctor's appointments. They told him it was long-term COVID effects. This man had a frontal lobe tumor. Went to his high school 20th year class reunion. Felt a little lightheaded. Went to the emergency room. Never came home.
Wow.
Never came home. So I want us to take serious
Mm-hmm.
when something doesn't feel right.
That's right. I always say, and I say this to anybody, regardless of the age, no one knows your body better than you. No one.
No.
So you know when something is not
No.
right. Don't sit and ignore it.
No, girl, listen.
Baby.
I almost went to the upper room.
Oh,
one
okay,
time.
not the upper room,
The upper
girl,
room.
the
It was
upper
the
room.
light. The light was there.
Okay.
I had a hysterectomy young.
Okay.
I had cervical cancer and stuff like that. The rest of my family.
Right.
And I chose to be very, very, very. I had 4 kids. I didn't need.
Yeah, baby, you were done, honey.
Let's have this. You can have it.
You
coulda
did
been,
your
actually,
part, girl.
You could have been on had it. Like,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
So I felt wonderful
Mm-hmm.
after I had the surgery. Like, I felt like I could have went to work that Monday. By Wednesday, I felt horrible. Like, I was in so much pain I couldn't lay down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like telling everybody, and everybody's like, "Oh, you got gas. You ain't went to the bathroom. Your mind just coming up with your body."
Constipated.
Yeah, and I'm like, y'all, there's something not right.
Mm-hmm.
How my grandma, that's my ride or die. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm calling her, I'm crying, and I'm not a crier.
Right.
Like, if I'm crying,
Me either.
and I envy people who are.
Girl, I don't.
I do.
I don't.
I want to know, like,
Mm-mm.
how is that a
'Cause-
good release for you?
Yeah.
Like, because I have a friend, she can cry. Lord, she can cry. Like, and I'm
Really?
just like, how do you do this?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, see, my daddy, speaking of him, I try to talk about him on every episode, honey, because that was my hero. He
Yeah.
unexpectedly passed about 1.5 years ago,
Okay.
and he was military. So, honey, my upbringing was hell. Do
we-
you hear
we-
me,
we,
girl?
we don't do no crying over here.
Oh!
Well, my grandma used to always say, "Now, what did that do for you?"
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Now over here
So,
looking-
baby, I better not cry.
Yeah,
We don't
No,
cry.
if I start crying, everybody might want to clear out.
Cry, baby. Because see, number one, I'm mad now because
Yes,
I'm crying
yes,
because I feel like
yes.
it's a sign of weakness, like I
Yes.
failed.
Mhm. Everybody,
And then number
please.
2, baby, I don't know. You saw it.
Yeah, like everybody, you
Yeah,
might want to, because
so-
I'm an angry cry, so everybody might want to
Yes.
move out the way and
Honey.
give me a moment.
See, I'm a Gemini. What are you?
I'm a Virgo, but one of my
Oh,
close
well, you
friends
just as
is
bad, girl.
one of my close friends is my son is a Gemini. and
Okay.
y'all are some special
Oh, honey,
human
we're
beings.
something, aren't we? I will be the first to admit, girl, I already know. Honey,
So special.
I have about 100 personalities.
He
you know.
said something and you just like, "Are you speaking?" Oh,
Yeah.
we're back.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Like-
yes. And I'm trying hard to get myself together,
Embrace
but
it.
girl,
Embrace it, because
I-
his godmother is a Gemini, and I did
Yeah.
that perfectly. And they understand each other.
Girl,
And
we
I love that for
do.
them.
Girl,
I
we
love that
do.
for
Like, I
them.
can spot another Gemini anywhere, girl, in the
Yes.
grocery store, anywhere, and we just smile. Gemini. Yeah, we understand each other. But like as a community, we've talked about a lot of things. How do we heal as a community? How do we bring all of this together? Do we just continue preaching, education? I mean, how do we get our people to pay
Education
attention?
is key.
Mm.
But I feel like, and I'm going to probably rock the boat with this.
Come on, girl,
okay?
rock it.
There has been an invisible line drawn in the sand in our community. We have to be able to step across it. Because we have to be able to help each other. There are a lot of resources within our community.
Yes.
But there are a lot of resources outside of our community.
That's right.
If we're not putting ourselves in other rooms to make those resources available to our community, we're doing our community a disservice.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of great money out there. There's a lot of funding. There's a lot of opportunities to get things to happen and change within our community. But if we're not being conscious enough to know that we need partnerships to make that happen, even with the downtown. They're trying to fix up downtown and they get downtown cutting up. But as the aunties and uncles, I'm the first to say some of them kids, I'm like, oh, I know, I'm going to call him. You know what I'm saying? So we can't heal as a community if we don't have leadership.
And guidance, absolutely.
Leadership. And then not just leadership, because sometimes we have leadership with me starting my organization, right? It was all about making sure people had a platform to meet other individuals that can pull you back up. So sometimes I have been through, 20 lives. And if I write a book, they'd be like, she lying.
Right.
She lying. She didn't do that. That didn't happen.
Right.
But
right.
I can get here and say, oh, I've got my master's, I did this, and I have overcame. No, ma'am.
Right.
I didn't no. Somebody had to tell me like they seen greatness in me.
That's right.
I've been where you are. I've went through this and that. You can be better.
That's right.
A lot of times people get to a certain status in their life and that whatever Jenny from the block does not exist anymore.
Ooh,
and it's like, no,
babe.
You have to be a leader. I think it is almost God. I ain't gonna say, oh God, but God brought you this for you to be a platform to show him people what you can do.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
So if I
be the example.
And I have to be a real life example.
That's right.
I'm not gonna believe you sit here and say, Candace went to private school, and I'm like, she know, like she went to school, but I can't find that relatable. So we have to have more leaders stand up and say, hey, this is what we need to happen in our community.
That's right.
Whether it's the health, it's the guidance and things of that nature, and be very vocal about what's going on in our community.
I agree.
I see a lot of older leaders, and then I see a lot of some young are promoted, but there's a gap.
Yes.
And that gap is causing a huge disservice to our community.
That's right.
So we need to figure out how to bridge those gaps because being younger, I remember like the AIDS commercials.
Girl,
and the Dare things.
And that's the field that I work in.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
like being younger, we saw that. They showed us what that looked like, what certain diseases, if you got those, look like. We have shunned away from that cliche.
That's right.
That we don't have any visuals for these kids or any older individuals too to understand like, no, we have we have to heal. We promote like this burnout culture. Where you have to grind till your body's tired, or you have to film your whole life if you're sad.
That's right.
And we're telling these children about all these emotions. You have anxiety, depression, And I was telling like I have a 13. I'm like, y'all feel a lot,
right?
Y'all feel a lot. But if you're creating a culture where you're inviting children and young adults and even older people into all these emotions, what are you showing them what to do with?
Absolutely,
right? Because I'm not listening. My kids can be depressed and they're listening to a Rod Wave song. You need to be here talking to your mama. What is wrong? What's going on?
This is when it comes to breaking generational curses.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We as a people, and when I say we as a people, I mean our community, the African American community. We have to break those generational curses. Open the doors of communication. Because when I was growing up, if I asked my parents, why, Mama, why I gotta do this? Girl, I was gonna get knocked across the floor. Do you hear me? You know, so I tried to do things differently raising my boys.
Mhm.
And, you talked about visual things. A girl, I remember pulling out the laptop when they got like teenagers, and I pulled out all these sexually transmitted diseases, and I wanted them to see this is what happens when you do this or you don't do that. This is real.
Let me tell you,
Girl.
I never bought a condom in my life
Uh-huh.
till my boys were 16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
Then it became like part of my weekly grocery shopping.
Thank
And they
you.
probably was like in the grocery, like, she is just giving it out.
Baby,
But like, I was
honey,
not.
it's
If you
okay.
see me, I was not. I was making sure my boys, like, I was not.
And but we need more mothers like you. That's what I'm saying.
But my grandparents built a solid foundation for me.
Right.
If I got in trouble, I didn't really get whooped.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go read. Now I'm
See,
an
I got
avid
beat
reader.
and had to read.
Well, I didn't get the whooping. So I seen the whoopings everybody else got, and I was like, I knew enough to like that wasn't.
Yes.
That was because by the time my parents were still, my mom was going to school and stuff. So my grandparents primarily raised me. So I just didn't have to go to the trial. Y'all told me the stories.
You believe
I believe
it? You believe it?
My granddaddy had like this white patent leather. It was probably
Girl,
leather belt.
listen,
that
honey.
if I got to doing too much, he would go sit on the fireplace, and I knew it was like, oh, I don't went too far.
That's right. You knew. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. So
you shut your ass up.
Yeah, like, I'm going in the room.
Okay.
I'm going in the room because you don't even gotta say.
And that's another thing. Too. Like growing up, girl. I couldn't sit around and listen to grown folks talk, girl. I wish I would be sitting on this couch and my mama talking to somebody else.
It. Like, so my daughter has a TBI now.
Yeah.
And so she's like my little shadow. And I'm like, sometimes like people will text and be like, is Jade around? I'm like, oh, she be out in the conversation. And we're learning how to set those boundaries. But we had to like rebuild her mental.
Of course.
But you're right.
Yeah.
But we have to like set those foundation for kids to understand.
Right.
Which in hindsight, like that made me a thirst that reading and looking up and being bored in there. It made me have a thirst for knowledge.
There you go.
I always had a thirst for knowledge. I always did.
There's an African proverb that I live by, and it's each one teach one. I live by that.
We need
and
it.
within our community, there's so much hatred. There's so much jealousy and envy, girl. We are a smart people. We can do anything. Just think what we could do if we would come together. You know what I mean?
I just read the other day about the lady who cured leprosy.
Yes.
And then it was stolen from her and da. Like, you had to be one smart in
Absolutely.
Something that had plagued the world for years. You did it. The problem I have is that as a community, we gatekeep.
Oh yes.
There's nothing you can ask me that I don't know. Now if it's something somebody told me like keep that between me and you, I might come like, you need this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we gatekeep. Like and what God has for me is for me.
Absolutely.
Right? So it was a lady, what was her name? Jessica, her husband used to be a pastor here, but they've moved. But I had a friend who wanted to do balloons, and the lady was holding a free class.
Right.
And she was really talented at ballooner. And so we asked her, like, why are you doing this for free? What is... And she was like, I'm at a place in my life where I don't have to take a job to anything under $1,000. But if I trained you and I know you know what you're doing, I can send those jobs your way, and hopefully one day you... And we don't look at that. Like, even the event I hold every year, I single-handedly go through and watch people's Facebook pages. When they say they're going to start a business, to when they're growing the business, how they handle their customers, how they'll be on their page.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And I'll approach them, and many of the vendors I've approached, like, hey, I would love to work. Like, how do you... When were you, I didn't even know you knew who I am. Like,
exactly.
I've been looking.
Right.
But that is because if I'm looking and I see the hunger, I see the dedication, the craft, why not, if I have a semi-platform,
that's right,
give you availability to grow your business,
right? That's
right. That's not blocking my blessing. That's not blocking my blessing at all.
Absolutely not.
I love to see others grow and thrive.
Yeah,
right?
As the youngsters say, we all can eat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Girl, we all can eat, girl.
I want to be at a table full of bosses.
Exactly.
I want to be at a table full of bosses.
Exactly. I find pleasure in that. It makes me feel good, girl. You know?
It does. And I want a friend that I can call and be like, hey, this is this and this. What do you think?
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't want to say ignorant response, but it's a response. They actually, there's no hate. There's nothing like, there's like, oh, you know what? da-da-da. But you have to grow with your friends.
You have to grow with your
with your
friends.
circle and be open to having new friendships.
I
That
was
doesn't
just
turn
getting
your
ready
back
to
on
say,
old ones. Like,
this thing called life, honey,
Mhm.
we live through seasons. Sometimes we outgrow people
Mhm.
and we have to move on.
Mhm.
It's nothing. Sometimes it's no hate,
Mhm.
nothing bad happened. It's just that we outgrew each other.
And I want to
Go ahead.
point on that. You can grieve with friendship.
Yeah.
And to lose somebody as a friend is not to gain them as a
Ooh,
right?
honey.
So I hate seeing us on social media breaking each other down.
I hate it.
Your stick is good with me, babe.
Right.
We just may be on two separate pages and we might get back on the same page later.
It may.
Right?
Absolutely.
But it's not for your mental. I'm not finna tear down my sister. Now, I'm not saying I'm not guilty of it.
Right.
Because I'm not the same person I was yesterday.
That's right.
Right? But through things, people have said things to me and I'm just like, I can't believe they felt like,
Right.
But at the same time, you're supposed to grow.
That's right.
Grow with your friends.
That's right.
Every friend. And then people find it when your friends have to take a step back. Sometimes it's not even a hit to you. They don't know where they get in life.
Absolutely.
Okay? They don't know where they're going in life. And we have to understand what mental, and that's a big thing.
That's
we
right.
have to understand what mental health is. Because, people be like, she ain't crazy.
That's
She
right.
fine. She was fine yesterday at the store. You don't know what private battle people are going through.
Listen, honey, when I'm at work and I'm talking to my coworkers and some of my staff members, I tell them all the time, smile when you meet people. Say hello. You never know what someone is going through. Sometimes that smile or that, hey, how you doing today? Girl, they could have been contemplating suicide, and just you speaking, changed their whole mind frame.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna switch over to your organization that you founded.
Okay.
Burning Butterfly. Oh, first of all, honey, I love the name. Okay, love it. But I want you to tell me about Burning Butterfly. What is the mission of Burning Butterfly? And then how did you come up with the name?
The mission of Butterfly is public and mental health advocacy.
Okay.
And creating a sister and brotherhood for individuals to feel safe, to thrive, and provide community resources for our community.
I like that.
So I came up with the name Burning Butterfly. I had been in an on again, off again relationship forever with, this man you thinking.
Yeah, girl, we've all had them, child.
Okay,
girl, yeah.
I went through like a little depression period because I'm just like, oh my God, like he ain't nothing and I don't waste all this time.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I had all these notes. So you're going back. I'm trying to figure out, I'm in bed. I was recovering from an illness. I was in bed just, jotting, like, how that revenge success is different.
Yes, it is.
Like this, I'm finna show him.
Like
you missed. Girl. So that revenge is different.
Yes, it is.
I knew what I wanted the organization to be. I couldn't think of a name.
Okay.
So there's an author named Ashley Antoinette. She's an urban fiction author.
Okay.
She had this series called Ethic. It came out during COVID.
Okay.
And girl, Ethic took us on a ride, right?
Really? Okay.
And she was dropping books we was out in the house,
right.
Nothing to do.
Right.
So,
and I'm a reader too, so I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out, girl.
Listen,
I'm gonna check it out.
You got to. I'm a reader, so you got to come back and tell me how you feel about it. Okay,
I will.
Okay.
So
she from Ethic, it went to a book about his daughter, which is called Butterfly.
Okay.
And the significance of her naming it Butterfly was the transformation the young lady was going through in her life, from understanding herself to and she was just had little passions about butterflies. So that made me being a researcher,
right?
Butterflies, right. And so one of the books was called Moth to the Flame, and that was the original book of the Butterfly series. And so I was just thinking, just like how butterflies go through so much, like they separate themselves, they isolate, they transform, and they come out as something very beautiful.
Absolutely.
But after that, do we really think about a butterfly after they become a butterfly? Right? What happens? There's something beautiful, and they go on, they float away. And then you have the mythical creature, the phoenix, that when it gets to a certain point of life, it combusts and starts over and rebuilds. So I merged the two and make Burning Butterfly because we're constantly evolving.
We're
constantly starting over. We're constantly in a new phase of our life. If you're 30, then you turn 40, and you got to figure out what 40 looks like for you. If you just graduated, now you got to figure out what your new career like. If your kids your kids go to high school, now you're an empty nester. What does that look like for you?
Right.
Life is never the same, right?
Right.
So there's ups and downs. My grandma used to say, one wave of trouble pick you up, one wave of trouble pick you down. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
that. So life is a constant
It
evolution.
is.
So that is what Burning Butterfly means.
I like that. I like that. I like that. And you did say it was for men and women, or just
Yes.
women?
So my target audience was originally women.
Okay.
And then once I made myself more aware and thought about it, like men need that too.
They need it too.
I have a really, really close friend that I joke with him, call him toxic, but he's not toxic. He's just himself. But
Right.
and we always banter about why things are between men and women and da da da.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, men need this just as much as women
They
do.
do.
And honestly, men are more impacted by misinformation, disease,
right.
and disparities and stuff like that. So men need us just as much as women
They
do as
do.
well.
They do. They do. And I have found that men, they respond better to non-judgmental,
Oh,
situations
absolutely.
and things of that
Absolutely.
nature. So yeah.
Absolutely.
You and I briefly spoke the other day, and we talked about vision boards.
Mhm.
Talk to me about vision boards. Why are vision boards important?
They are so important. And people think like, oh my God, you're arts and crafting. But
Yes.
I did a vision board. I've done a vision board every year for like the last 8 years.
Okay.
It's rare that I don't accomplish something.
Okay.
Now I start thinking about my vision board probably October.
Okay.
Like what life, da da da. I'm staring like, oh, you almost there. You need a little work, da da da.
Right.
But I also make those very realistic. I don't put a yacht on there because
Absolutely.
where
Baby,
we
we're going to
going?
crawl before we walk.
Yes,
You understand?
I have to make
get
those
you.
smart goals. I
That's
think people
right.
don't understand you have
Reachable
to have
goals. Uh-huh.
smart, attainable, reachable goals,
That's it.
right?
That's it.
And what I do is if you think about it, a vision board addresses everything that public health, where if you're going to eat healthier,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to put that on your vision board.
That's
That's
right.
actually a social determinant of health.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to make more trips, that's going with your mental.
That's
if you want to
right.
do physical therapy, not physical therapy, but more exercise. If you want to do like yoga, if you want to get a new car, those are financial goals.
That's right.
Financial goals go into your social determinants. All the things that address public health are actually on your vision board.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is most people do, it's a nice girls' night, you we do a vision board, you put it on the back of your closet, and you go ahead.
Right.
But what I've created is a night of intent. So you're doing this vision board, you're here with strangers, right?
Right.
So you're able to network,
Mm-hmm.
get the resources to do this. So I can't say I want to have a counselor, but I want a Black counselor. Or I don't know any good counselors. And we put 4 counselors in your face.
Right.
Right? There's no reason why. If you say you want to take more self-care, and we have individuals who are estheticians or
Right. I get
why
it.
did you not? Right?
I get it.
So
Yeah.
you have to give people the room to actually give them the tools to do that. I always use the reframe that faith without works is dead, right? But you got to put in the work.
You do.
It tells people sometimes trust God, but I have to give you the tools to trust God, because you don't wake up one
Absolutely.
morning and be like, oh my God, I got all the. That's not how that works.
That's right.
That's with my counselor, my auntie, my grandma. Like that. This is a
Right,
project,
right.
So you have to include individuals to help you obtain those goals. And
That's
if you meet a
right.
stranger, I might really wanted to try podcasting, but none of my friends are like, I want a podcast. And I meet you, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
can do it. Like,
Yes, you can,
yes.
girl.
But sometimes you need to be in a room with inspirational people
Absolutely.
who have goals,
That's
who are
right.
trying to figure it out themselves, and you never know where that will lead on the way down the
That's
road.
right.
We've been blessed with Burning Butterfly to be able to give individuals that platform to grow together
That's right.
and meet up, and then also give small businesses time to shine. Most businesses that participated last year got at least 30% growth.
That's great.
And then I have 2 or 3 vendors that actually had the pleasure of like quitting their job or going
Wow.
part-time. And that was the whole concept. It wasn't about me.
Yes.
The last 2 years, excuse me,
Uh-huh.
I've taken a loss
Right.
financially, but it was the experience
That's
I
right.
wanted to
Mhm.
give the community. That was more important to me. If they walked away with their cup full,
Right.
then I did my job. Like it wasn't.
That's
It's
it.
not about the money.
That's it.
It's about like growing, seeing the community
I
have those
love
resources,
that.
and having an event that individuals feel seen, heard, and then can ask the questions that you don't quite understand.
That's
Because
right.
we do not all have it figured out. I don't care
No.
how good it looks on Facebook.
That's
How
right.
good it look. Like, I can be crying in the shower a minute and you come here and put like a picture. And
You
you're
hear
like, she
me?
looks really pretty today.
Uh-huh.
And you don't know, baby.
Baby, listen, honey.
Listen. So we gotta.
Yeah, I
We have
understand.
to.
Yes,
We have
yes.
to.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I do want to support Burning
Oh,
Butterflies.
thank you.
I do.
Thank
I
you.
want to be a part of because like you, I am a nurturer. I love helping people, regardless of their race, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation. I'm a lover of people, but I am pro my people.
And we have to be.
You know what I
And
mean?
and that's okay.
Yes.
And I think people find like that. I have a friend. We've been friends since Wake Village.
Uh-huh.
We've
So
we've gone-
it's a guy.
it's a lady.
Oh, okay,
She
girl.
is
I was trying to be
Caucasian.
messy. Go on, girl.
She's Caucasian. You know what? I even go like because she gonna know what I'm talking about. My kids, they TT Gina.
Okay.
Gina, I'm talking about you.
Hey, TT Gina, girl.
Gina, on paper, you'll be like, there's no way in hell they're friends.
Right.
That is my sister.
Yeah.
That's my sister. We don't agree on 90% of things. We agree that we love each other.
That's
we love each other
right.
kids.
But you have different friends for different
Yes,
reasons.
but I spend most time debunking half of her conspiracy theory. If there's a positive thing, she's gonna go to the dark side of the web and find
Right.
the anti that. But in my mind, having a friend like that challenged me because everybody's not supposed to think how I'm supposed to think.
That's right.
Right?
That's
And so
right. I had
find-
to learn that.
Yes, and I find myself, but it's educational for me for having a friend like this. I'm gonna
That's
tell you why.
right.
Because she generally does not get a lot of things. So like when she was like, "Well, why is there a Black Business Day? Why do we have to promote Black businesses?" Blah, blah, blah. And so generally, I can see as a white woman like, okay, they're doing it, but why does it have? Because she always supposed to start by saying she doesn't see any color. Because I'm like, you see color.
Yeah, you see
right?
color. I correct people a lot with that.
You see color.
You see color, and it's okay.
Yeah, you see color. You don't
It's
leave
okay
with
to
that.
see color.
And I was telling her like that is the line that we all be like,
Yeah.
you see color, girl.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you see color.
She but I was explaining to her about Black business and how most first business owners, their business failed in the first 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Most Black business owners fail within the first 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
So if us as a community, but who are the biggest consumers of most things, right? So why are we not? Why am I going to? And there's nothing wrong going to a local nail salon.
That's
when
right.
It's when Ling Ling is over here doing it, and she does a beautiful job, right? And I'm getting custom service. I can go here and show her this is the picture I want. But there's no reason why she should be struggling when every holiday the nail shop is packed.
Yes,
right?
Lord.
So we have to support each other. So when I'm explaining things like that, it can be frustrating, but it makes me understand why those type of conversations are important.
And they're needed.
They're important and
yes.
needed.
Yes.
And she's the same friend that unfortunately has had lung cancer 3 times from vapes. Right?
No.
Right? So those are conversations we can have.
Yes.
Like, okay, this is how this happens.
Right.
But you have to be, I can't lead with anger.
That's right.
I can't lead with you should know. I have to lead with, tell me why you think like that.
Absolutely. You have to be open-minded.
Tell me why.
Yeah, tell me why. Talk to me.
Tell me why.
Yeah. I have shout out to Haley Bug. She is one of my co-workers, and I call her my little white chocolate baby. Because, honey, she is Caucasian. She's white, but she has so much culture. And to be so young in her early 20s, she's able to get along with so many different types of people. And she's able to, she doesn't just see this way. She's able to see.
And she has some wonderful parents because that was taught.
You know what I mean?
That
And
was
I'm
taught.
like,
Yes.
girl, Lord have mercy.
Yes.
So, in fact, and since I gave a shout out to Haley, shout out to Beezy, my baby, my right hand. Shout out to Nikki, Trent, Eric, oh my God, Tia, and God, please don't let me forget nobody. Nikia, did I say you, girl?
I don't think you said Nikki.
But yeah, so yeah, it's really important to be able to, I like to say as adults, sometimes we can agree to disagree.
Absolutely. One of my high school friends is running for a house seat.
Mm-hmm.
A house seat. Zach Ratliff. If you're a Republican,
Mm-hmm.
I don't go vote for Zach. Go vote for him, okay? But I don't agree with a lot of his views.
Right.
But I definitely got on there, and when he announced his candidacy, I support you.
That's right.
Not because because I grew up with this man, and I know if anything else, his heart's pure.
That's
right?
right.
We don't have to agree with everything else, but when it comes to like our health and things like that, if we don't have clear leaders and clear understanding, and people that are willing
Mm-hmm.
and understandingly able to go into another room and to get those resources and bring them back to our community,
That's
and
right.
to talk to meet you where you are. I'm not talking down to you.
Absolutely.
I'm not judging you.
That's
I
right.
want you to know, like, my house is always filled with teenagers, and I'm always like, yeah, I know the STD rate going on.
That's right.
What's your my chart looking like?
Exactly.
All my son's friends, they go to the
Honey,
doctor. We gonna go
listen.
and tell you. And unfortunately, that made me the mom that called. I'm like, Mama, something's burnt. Let's go.
Let's go.
But let's go.
Girl, bring them to me. Bring them to me, girl. I'll take care of them,
Let's
honey.
go. And I be
Yeah.
in there, and I'm making the most humiliating. I'm in there. She said his was burning. I don't know. But if you don't, if young men and women aren't able to come to you and say, this feels weird,
That's right.
then we have a whole community of this feel weird.
That's right.
And then we have to figure out who that started with.
That's right.
Don't nobody want to say, I was with Jim, Bob,
Don't.
and them last night, and then Bob was with this one and that. Like, and stuff never changed. There's always been a club culture, okay?
Of course.
Right?
Of
There's
course.
always been a drug culture.
Yes, ma'am.
But in this day and time, we have bodies dropping.
Oh, God,
And I
yes.
think I made a post on Facebook about, and I was trying to do, and I tried to do real good social media, sometimes I get distracted, but about talking to your kids and having maybe Narcan in their backpack. Girl,
Oh, yeah.
my inbox was like, how dare you insist on our kids of to do drugs? And I'm like, baby, the kids is doing drugs.
They are doing
What
drugs.
you need to understand is
They're in denial,
we
girl.
gotta save a life. Okay?
Ooh,
We
they're
gotta
in
save a
denial.
life. Because once my baby walk out this door,
That's right.
I don't know what little Jenny mama
Absolutely.
them do. And it is and most parents really don't, and I hate when people say, oh, it starts the parents.
Mm-hmm.
My boys have gotten into some trouble in their little day.
Mhm.
They have been hellfire.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you for a CP, I have whooped they. Do you hear me? I have whooped them, choked them out mud. Like that.
Well, you know, that is part of our culture.
Yeah, they would choke them out mud. And you
Yeah.
know, and I was like, that, so my girls tried to do a softer life, and my 13-year-old got in trouble. My son was like, so she's still
That's
standing
it?
up? And I'm
That's
like,
it?
I didn't think that worked. Like,
Uh-huh.
he was like, no, it worked. We just
Yeah,
knew. We
yeah,
just
yeah,
knew.
yeah.
We just knew when we got home, it was going to be a misunderstanding. But we have to make those situations
right.
convenient. So that made me be the mom that they knew I didn't play, but I'm coming.
Baby, do you
Right?
hear me?
I'm coming. You don't feel good. And so
honey.
now I get the random, now it's my head hurting, what I do. And these are kids, these not my kids. I'm like,
Right.
did you take a Tylenol? What'd you do? Call me on it. But you have to have somebody in there, and people think
That's right.
being your kid's friend, and there's a line between being your kid's friend. Like me and my oldest, we grew up together. So
Mhm.
our relationship has been perfect. I had the baby at 19.
That's right.
I had to figure out at 19.
You were still a baby yourself. You know?
I'm still a baby.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, and then went through a divorce.
Mhm.
Ex-husband wasn't the best, but he's a good he's a good father. He's a good father.
He's a good
But
father.
he didn't have a father.
See
Right?
there?
So those are things we have to teach our youth too.
That's right.
What your family dynamic look like?
Uh-huh.
What your family dynamic look like is so instrumental in how you create a family.
Absolutely.
That was my high school sweetheart. All my parents told me, baby, he was a bad guy. I'm like, oh my God,
I
I
was like,
love
what?
him.
Do you hear me?
I
Girl,
love-
baby, let me tell you something, girl. Honey. Girl, the father, I have two boys now.
Mhm.
They are 25 and 23, honey. And I am divorced, but their father and I still have a pretty good relationship. Honey, let me tell you something. You couldn't tell me nothing about that
Oh,
Negro.
it happens.
Do
It
you hear me,
happens.
baby?
It happens.
What?
And I always tell my best friend, like,
Oh,
girl, what did I ever tell you we was talking about? Like,
You
did I ever
know.
tell you, like, we had this debate last night?
You
She was
know.
like, girl, no, shut up.
Oh, Lord.
And I always wanted so bad for my boys not to be a statistic. Okay,
That's right.
I'm a black single mom. I'm getting this kid. And you have to go through learning pain. I had
Absolutely.
to learn that My kids will do anything everybody else out there doing.
I'm trying to
They
tell
probably
you.
was leading the
I'm
pack.
trying to tell you,
You know,
baby.
like they was
I'm
leading
trying
the
to
pack.
tell you.
So when I have these conversations with my kids, you with my son, sit down.
That's right.
Don't y'all do that. Like
That's right.
don't y'all. This can happen. This will happen.
Yes, it
Y'all
will.
ought to get you everything look good ain't good for
That's
you.
right.
Is she doing all that?
Girl, I used to tell mine, look, baby, if it's too easy, you don't want it. Trust me. Remember those little slides I used to show you when you were preteen?
There's a price to pay.
Baby,
There's
listen.
There's a price to pay. And I know, and nobody looks sick anymore. And so,
girl, that's a great point.
Nobody looks sick. So,
That's
when I
right.
was young, they look sick. They look like this. There are functioning drug addicts.
Yes, ma'am.
There are functioning people with HIV
Yes,
and AIDS
ma'am.
and people have stuff
Yes,
they
ma'am.
don't even know they have.
Don't
They're
even know it.
carriers when you have HPV and all. So you have to make it understandable and actually get to these children and young adults when they're in high school.
That's right.
In high school, because these unsafe practices, and a lot of people start when they're kids.
They
so
do.
if you can, like when I target the mothers to bring them to the vision board, most mothers are the nucleus of their family, right? So if mama making changes,
That's right.
we don't got no choice.
That's right.
If mama took the ham hock out the beans, and guess what?
Yes, baby.
The beans. But you have to target the individuals who are going to set the tone.
That's right.
For that. So
Absolutely.
if you want to say, oh, my child bet not be having sex. I mean, my daughter's 13. I've had the conversation with her like, no, I'm not giving you a go ahead. But
That's right.
if you think something going on, you
That's right.
Let's come to me.
Come to me.
Come to talk. You're not
Please.
in trouble, but come talk to me.
Come talk to me.
If you push these things across, Roe versus Wade is over. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a baby. That I'm a mother. That's my daughter. That baby coming home with me. We gotta talk.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, so
that's right.
Let's have a conversation.
That's right.
And also these kids are exposed. They know so much more about what I had. No, I was still wearing a bun.
Think about it, girl. They have internet. You know, everybody has a cell phone. You know, laptops, baby. You know, all of these social media platforms. So much is out there. We go back to misinformation. See, all of that. And I really hate when I have teenagers come to me and they're sleeping around. They're having sex, but they're hiding from their parents. And because they have hid it from their parents, they have contracted syphilis. And now they're looking at me crying like, what am I supposed to do now? Yeah. Now it's time to have that conversation.
And that's the time to have a
mother.
conversation because
That's
now
right.
your life's in danger.
Your life is in danger.
And so kids don't understand that some kids don't even understand how you can get in contact with STDs.
That's right.
How you can, I just did this. Maybe you probably do that. Okay?
Girl, I've heard so many stories, girl. And let me go ahead and say this, young men and women, you can contract STDs through oral sex.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Please.
Yeah, y'all are. I just want you to know that it is very possible.
Oh,
yes.
It's actually more possible. And I just want to piggyback on it because your mouth holds more bacteria
That's right.
than any other organ on your body. So you putting your... I just want you to think about that.
Yes.
If he didn't brush his teeth.
I
just want to
Sean, it has been awesome talking to
you.
It has been wonderful. Now, if someone wants to reach you and reach out about to find out more about burning butterflies, how can they contact you?
Absolutely. Burning Butterfly has a Facebook page called Burning Butterfly. My name is Shaun, Shaun, Lynette Walker on Facebook. And then you can also give me my phone if you have more questions. That would be 903-826-9413.
Okay. Thank you, girl. Thank you. And I know that at least when this podcast airs, so many people are going to be helped from it. And I really appreciate that. I do. Now, I said I was going to do this, girl, after the end of every podcast because I was raised up in the church too, girl. You know, I'm not really religious, but I'm really spiritual, you know. So every time we left, girl, and join in if you want to, honey. We're going to be happy ending at every podcast. God be with you.
Oh, girl, that's my song.
God be with you. Hey, God be with you until we meet again.
Y'all, that wasn't fair because she can sing for real.
Girl, thank you, girl. Listen, thank y'all for watching and subscribe. babe.
Yes, please, please, please.